In these notes, it says I can calculate the average rate of change of a function over a specified interval and interpret what it means in the situation. So in this case, we're talking about a written situation or a word problem. So in biology, you've learned that the independent variable is the cause and the dependent variable is the effect. So for the first problem, it says a climber went on a hike. After 4 hours, he was at an altitude of 600 feet. After 6 hours, he was at 400 feet. What is his rate of change? So you need to figure out the cause. Now, there's two main ideas. There's hours and there's feet. So did the hours cause the feet to happen, or did the feet cause the hours to happen? So in this case, the hours was the cause, and then the altitude and feet were the effect. So you want to make your ordered pairs first. Now, the hiker did 4 hours and went 600 feet, or was at 600 feet. And then after 6 hours, he was at 400 feet. So the remember rate of change is just another way of saying slope. So you're going to do m equals 400 minus 600 feet over 6 minus 4. So then we're going to have negative 200 divided by 2, or negative 100 over 1. So the negative 100 is talking about your feet because that's your y value. And then the 1 is talking about hours because that's your x value. Now the hiker can't go negative feet. So what's happening is he's on the mountain and he's traveling down. So he's going at a rate of 100 feet downward per hour. So you can say the hiker decreased his height by 100 feet every hour. Now make sure you have a subject, which is the hiker, and then you talked about the decreased his height by 100 feet every hour. Now in this problem, after 300 baseball games, Alex Rodriguez had 25 hits. After 100 games, he had 80 hits. What was his average? So did the games cause the hits to happen, or did the hits cause the games to happen? The game caused the hits. So then it's going to be 30 games for 25 hits, and then 100 games for 80 hits. Now remember, it's delta y over delta x. So you have to do 80 minus 25, and then 100 minus 30. So 80 minus 25 is 55 over 70. So then 55 over 70 gets you about 0.785. But if you divide both by 5, you're going to get 11 over 70 divided by 5. Gets you 14. Now, one big mistake, students try to put games over hits because that's what they see here. But remember, it's hits because that's your y value over games, which is your x value. So you can say on average, A-Rod, because that's his nickname in baseball, had 11 hits for every 14 games. For the third one, it said for one test you spent 4 hours of studying and got 90%. On the second test, you got 5 hours of studying and you got a 95%. So do the hours cause the grade, or does the grade cause the hours? In this case, the hours cause the grade. So you want to set it up x equals y. So this right here is our x value, comma our y, and then 5 comma 95. So just like the last two, delta y over delta x. So 95 take away 90, 5 take away 4. So then we have 5 over 1. The grade in percentages are y, the hours in our x. Now, some students say, I got 5% every 1 hour studied, but you should think about your grade. Usually when you study, you increase your grade. So talk about that in your sentence. So for every hour studied, my grade increases by 5%. So notice that I'm talking about the 5%, and then I'm also talking about the 1 hour in my sentence. Now the fourth one, it said a rocket is a mile above the Earth in 30 seconds and 5 miles above the Earth in 150 seconds. What is the rocket's rate of change? So do the miles cause the seconds, or does the seconds cause the mile? So the seconds, in this case, is the cause, and then the y is your miles. Now this is very tricky because it is 30 comma 1, because remember it's x comma y, and then 150 comma 5, because once again it's x comma y. So some students tend to mix that up, so you want to be careful. So delta y over delta x. So then we have 5 minus 1 over 150 minus 30. So then 4 over 120. Now you can simplify that to 1 over 30. Now just like the problem before, remember our miles is on top and our x is on the bottom. So you have to think about how far the rocket is traveling. So you can say the rocket travels 1 mile in every 30 seconds. Now if you notice, we have our x, which is our time, talked about in our sentence. And then we're talking about, in this case, distance, which is our y. So the rocket travels 1 mile in every 30 seconds.